If a strange event is witnessed by one person, or several people, we may not believe it. But if that strange event has been witnessed and confirmed by tens of thousands of people, do you choose to believe it or not? The UFO incident in Xiaoshan, Hangzhou, China, is such a typical strange incident. At that time, not only tens of thousands of people witnessed the appearance of UFOs, but even China's Hangzhou Xiaoshan airport was forced to blockade for an hour, resulting in the delay of more than 20 planes taking off. We all know the airport can't be blocked casually, unless it's an emergency. What exactly happened that day? Xiaoshan UFO incident in Hangzhou, China. Back on July 7, 2010, at around 8 p.m., most residents near Hangzhou Xiaoshan Airport were distracted by the sudden appearance of a light source in the night sky. At 20:40 in the evening, the crew of 2 flights preparing to land at Xiaoshan Airport discovered that there was a bright circular spot moving fast in the sky above the airport. Out of professional vigilance, the captain reported this strange phenomenon to the Air Traffic Control Department. The controller of the ground tower checked the airport radar system at the first time after receiving that message. However, what is puzzling is that no traces of UFOs were captured on the radar screen. For safety reasons, Xiaoshan Airport suspended all flights from 2045 to 2141. All flights originally planned to fly to other places were grounded, and flights to Xiaoshan Airport were diverted to Ningba and Wuxi airports. A total of 18 flights were affected by the UFO incident that night. Although order returned to normal 56 minutes later, angry passengers still went to the staff to ask for answers. After receiving clear instructions from their superiors, the staff explained the delay by citing an unidentified flying object over the airport. Grumpy passengers heard the explanation from the airport staff and everyone quieted down because they were busy taking pictures, posting on Moments and tweeting. Therefore, the news about the appearance of UFO at Xiaoshan Airport quickly spread through the internet and caused a huge sensation all over the country. The grounding of Xiaoshan Airport was one of the largest and most influential UFO sightings in China since the beginning of the 21st century. Direct evidence of UFO sightings. According to a netizen who witnessed the incident, the scene can only be described as shocking. As he walked, he noticed the trees in front of him were illuminated. When he looked back at the light source, he found that the sky behind the trees seemed to be cracked, like a torn hole, and it stayed there for a few minutes. In addition to the netizen, tens of thousands of people also witnessed this mysterious light source in Xiaoshan. Some even took pictures of the mysterious source directly with their camera devices. At 8:45 that night, everyone was wondering what the light source appeared in the night sky. The staff of Hangzhou Xiaoshan Airport suddenly received a notice from the Air Traffic Control Department that a suspected unidentified flying object appeared near the airport, so they immediately took emergency measures to block the airport and suspended all aircraft takeoff and landing. It took a full hour and 5 minutes before the airport flight returned to normal. At that time, more than 20 aircraft were affected by the blockade of Xiaoshan Airport. Although the statement about UFO is not convincing at the moment. But almost all the information and evidence points to the same thing. Something special was going on over Xiaoshan Airport. So that under the effect of the fermentation of the internet, this matter quickly caused a nationwide uproar. Even CCTV News, at that time, made a special report on the UFO incident. Another famous sighting of that incident was a photographer named Ma Shijin who took the most clear UFO photos among the many witnesses. On the night of that accident, Mr. Ma Shijin was walking with his wife when he saw a light in the sky. Out of professional instinct, Mr. Ma Shijin quickly picked up his newly bought Canon 500D single-lens reflex camera and recorded the scene in front of him. At first, Mr. Ma Shijin didn't pay much attention to the photo until he heard about the UFO incident in Xiaoshan, and realized that the photo he took was probably a rumored UFO. Not only Mr. Ma Shijin, but also many netizens have exposed direct witness evidence one after another. Suddenly all evidence of direct UFO sightings was discredited. However, in the following time, almost all of the direct sightings of the Xiaoshan UFO incident in Hangzhou were quickly refuted and denied. Not only the video footage I just showed you, but also the photos that Mr. Ma Shijin captured that night were also denied. Some experts have paid attention to the photos taken by Mr. Ma Shijin. After professional analysis, they said that the UFO photographed in this photo may be an ordinary civil airliner rather than a UFO. The reason is simple. If you focus on the building on the left side of the photo, you will find that the outline of the building is partially blurred, which is the result of the camera moving during the long exposure. That is why the UFO captured by Ma Xiaojun is probably a moving source of light. Based on the exposure time and other information, experts also roughly inferred the moving speed of the light source in the photo, about 208.566 km per hour to 224.154 km per hour. According to this, experts believe that the source of the light captured by Mr. Ma Xiaojun is most likely an airplane passing over that area. After all, planes fly at night with their lights on, and the long exposure creates a light beam as they pass by. In order to verify the expert's inference, Mr. Ma Xiaojun decided to go to the place where the UFO was photographed at that time, and then take a shot of the passing aircraft. Sure enough, Mr. Ma Xiaojun with the same shooting method really shot again the same UFO. Based on this, the photo taken by Mr. Ma Xiaojun was denied. What is the truth about tens of thousands of UFO witnesses? Has there ever been a UFO at Xiaoshan Airport? The answer is definitely yes. In the Xiaoshan Daily 13 years ago, an article clearly stated that the Xiaoshan Airport explained to the delayed passengers by citing the presence of UFOs after receiving clear instructions. Various evidence shows that Xiaoshan Airport has indeed had a UFO appearance, although later some media said that the UFO appeared at Xiaoshan Airport was confirmed by experts to be an aircraft, but it is just an explanation of Mr. Ma's photos. And what exactly was the UFO that the crew spotted? So far no official explanation has been given. It is hard to imagine that the truth witnessed by tens of thousands of people seems to be a big lie, as direct witness evidence is denied one by one. However, after excluding all evidence of direct sightings, some other evidence seems to show that the Hangzhou Xiaoshan UFO incident is far from simple as imagined, and cannot be explained clearly after denying some photos and videos. The first is about the tens of thousands of people who witnessed a huge light source in the night sky. For example, a netizen recounted that their local people said that the thing that appeared that night was so bright that most of the sky was illuminated, and that thing flew very fast and made no sound. We all know there's no way that an airplane flying at night would give off that kind of light people have been describing, and there's no way that an airplane would be silent while it's in the air. Secondly, it is about the emergency blockade of Xiaoshan Airport. If the unidentified flying object appeared over Xiaoshan Airport was an aircraft, when it entered the radar area, the relevant staff must have noticed it. If it had been a normal flight, it would not have affected other flights at all, and the weather conditions were perfect that night, so there was no need for an emergency lockdown. And if this is a stealth aircraft sent by another country, the relevant departments will certainly respond in the first place. But in fact, it doesn't. There are only two conclusions to be drawn here. One is that the stealth aircraft sent by other countries are too good. The other is that it could be a UFO. All in all, the combination of all the clues to see what appeared over the airport absolutely cannot be ordinary civilian aircraft. 1 year after the incident. 1 year after the Xiaoshan UFO incident, Wu Jialu, a teacher from the Shanghai UFO Exploration and Research Center, published an analysis report after a year of careful research. His analysis focuses on the following 2 points. First, the UFO was spotted by the crews of 2 separate flights. We know that the airport can't have multiple planes landing or taking off at the same time. There are 3 to 10 minute intervals between them. Private planes, military planes, and foreign surveillance planes can travel great distances in 3 to 10 minutes, so they cannot be detected by the crews of 2 different flights in the same airspace. And military aircraft have their own airspace that doesn't overlap with civilian airspace, and they don't fly this low without special circumstances. Second, July 7, 2010 is still in the Shanghai World Expo period. The Superior has a clear rule: Shanghai and nearby airports are not allowed to fly without approval. With this rule, Xiaoshan Airport should be able to quickly figure out what is flying in the air. But it didn't. And it doesn't show up on radar, so it's unlikely to be a man-made aircraft. Although the option of aliens cannot be ruled out, it is not the only explanation. It seems that this UFO incident is the closest we have come to the truth about UFOs so far. But unfortunately, even so, we still haven't been able to get solid evidence that UFOs actually visited. What do you think of this incident? Feel free to leave your comments.